Alright, episode 4, the Academy of Advanced Conjuration. And as you can see, we've got a building now. So, this is not in the location where I had originally planned to put this. I ran into a couple problems with that. I was in the process of building that thing, and one thing I didn't see the first time I was in the kit, because I had markers turned off, and when I turned them on, I noticed that there is a dragon crash landing marker that went right through where the building was going to go. I mean, right through the middle of it. Now, that itself is not the be-all, end-all. It's not that big of a deal. I can disable that. If the mod's installed when you start a new game, it will be disabled right away. If you install the mod mid-playthrough, well, that marker will be enabled at the start of the game, because you start a game, it enables everything. So there's a chance that at some point a dragon may end up crashing through there. It won't break the mod or anything. It's going to look really weird. But after that, and after it resets, then it would be disabled. I had that problem with Lakeshore Cabin. There's one there as well. And one crashed right through my front yard. But that was the only time that happened, because it was when it reset everything, it then disabled it. But anyway, the bigger problem I was running into was the fact that the road out there was not running east-west. It was kind of, I guess, more northwest-southeast, which meant that the front of the building was going to be like a 30-degree angle. So all the pieces that I was using, I had to angle them about 30 degrees to make the front of the building parallel with the road, like most buildings are. But the problem with that is, with a lot of pieces, when you angle them like that, they won't line up left to right. They won't line up right next to each other. And you end up with little gaps or overlaps. And overlaps will cause that flickering effect when you have two pieces in the same place and the game's trying to render for both of them. Neither of those are desirable or acceptable. It just makes you look like a sloppy, lazy modder. I'm not the best modder in the world by any means, but I'm not sloppy and lazy. So I tried everything from 20 degrees to 40 degrees and nothing worked. I could not find an angle where the two pieces would line up next to each other. So my only option at that point was to use an existing in-game building, and I didn't find one that I really liked that would work, because you could take the building and just rotate the entire building. But I couldn't find one that I really liked, and in the end I said, you know what, I got to find a better place to put this. So we are very far to the south right now. Let me show you where we are on the map. There's Falkreath, and we're down here right next to Haldir's Cairn, which is right over there. You can see my horse. That's where I fast travel to. So this is the road right here is almost directly east-west. You can see I'm facing directly east, so this worked out pretty well. It's not very far deep, so I had to redesign the entire building in order to make it fit here. This is not the shape or design I originally had. So it's taken me a little time to come up with a new design concept and put everything in place, but I'm going to add some windows and things on here, and maybe add some bushes and plants and stuff around the outside, pretty it up a little bit, but it's kind of got a little bit of a castle kind of feel to it. But this is what we have. Let's run around to the side here. You can see we're right on the edge of a cliff here on this road. And Falkreath is right down there behind those trees somewhere. In fact, I think the place, one of the places we were looking at was right there. That spot right there. I considered that one again before settling on this place. And this wasn't even, I wasn't even looking at this. I was actually looking at a place down there. That was another one I had looked at earlier down the road a ways. And it was at a angle I didn't really like either. So I said, well, let me run down this way. And I saw this spot, and I looked at my compass and I said, this could work. But again, I had to redesign the whole building. I do have one new conjurable to look at. We'll get a look at him in a minute. But let's go inside and see what we have. There's not a lot in here right now. I had to redo the exterior. These pieces I was using, I had them double their size to cut down on the number of pieces I needed to use to make it. But it didn't match up with the entry piece here because the stones on the walls were twice as big as these, and it looked really off. So I had to resize them and almost rebuild the exterior again. So anyway, let's go see what it looks like inside. I should have bumped up the lighting in here. I forgot to do that beforehand. There are 3 light sources in here. They're not very bright though. But this is what we have. Right here behind this counter is going to be a general merchant. So I'm just going to end up cluttering this place with mostly magic items, a lot of static items, soul gems and some staffs and things of that nature. But it'll be a general merchant, so he'll buy and sell anything. Now down here and at the other end is where the merchant trainers will be, and these magic effects. I went through a lot of different magic effects to find something fire, frost, and shock related that would actually show up in here without using some kind of a script. The reason I have these in here is because there's going to be a wizard working in this area, and one in this area, one in this area, and they're going to sell the conjuration spells that are appropriate for what it is. So for example, the guy that's working here, he'll sell the summon embers spell, summon cauterizer, summon blaze. Now I may give them the ability to sell vanilla spells as well. I haven't decided yet, but I probably will go that route. So just, if you're coming here anyway and there are other spells you want to look for, you might as well be able to buy them here as well as, the court wizard or whatever. The wizard that's going to be working in this area, obviously he's going to sell the spells that take care of the frost mages, so the chiller, permafrost, and glaciator. You get the idea. This one will sell the spells that handle the shock summonses, the shock mages, or spell swords. Down at this end, we've got a couple of archers here, so the wizard that works this area, he'll sell the spells for the archers. Here we have a wolf, a red wolf, and a gargoyle. Those are effectively melee units, so this guy's going to sell the melee spells. And over here, this is sort of a catch-all, this one right here. This is the one that's going to be the ones that handle the sun spells, like the Rogue Vigilant, and some other more the necromancy spells, things of that nature, which is why I have this dead Draugr here. And we've got these sunburst effects. These are the sun cloaks. Same as those things, but they're sun cloaks. So it's just a visual indication as to what spells this guy will sell. So that's all I have at the moment. Plan on putting in bookshelves. I'm going to put a table here in the middle. There'll be a bunch of markers in here. A lot of bookshelves with books on them. So we'll put the book reading marker in there. You've probably seen NPCs standing by a bookshelf, standing there reading a book, or sitting at a table reading a book. We'll put those markers in there because, they're wizards, so they do a lot of reading, a lot of studying. And I may extend an area, push this wall back a little bit, and put like a little a range in here, so these guys, the wizards here, can come over here and throw down some spells. Put a couple of targets down there or something. Just make that part of their normal package, which I don't know how to do yet, but I'll figure it out. So I may do something like that. Also, I'm going to put a door right about here, and another one over here. And on the back of the building, I'm going to put a nice big deck so you can go out there and enjoy the view over Falkreath Hold. Why not, right? One other thing about these guys, the reason I have 6 of them in here, and there's not that many spells. I mean, we're talking about, what was I saying before, somewhere around 21, 22 spells. The reason I have all these different wizards is because each one is going to be a trainer in a different school of magic. Because this is a school of magic. So you'll have one that trains in destruction, conjuration, obviously, illusion, alteration, restoration, enchanting. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting one. But anyway, you get the idea. So there's 6 schools of magic. There's going to be 6 of these guys. They're going to be merchant trainers. So they're not going to buy general merchandise. The guy that works there will. These guys will buy magical items, enchanted rings, necklaces, clothing. They'll sell the spells and probably sell soul gems and scrolls, things of that nature. But each one will be a trainer in a different school of magic. So, hence the name Academy, because, you know, having a place where you can buy spells is fine, but if you're going to call it the Academy of Advanced Conjuration, then, you know, it should be a place of learning. And in fact, you can come here and improve your skills by getting the proper training. You see some curved tower pieces up there. Originally, these end areas it was a round tower, exterior as well, and I decided to part way with that because it's what I have in mind for the entryway and the doorway, and up there it wasn't working out too well. Let's see, what else? Well, there's a couple other things I want to add to the mod here, and I didn't mention those yet. I'm not going to right now. I want to make sure I can get them to work before I add them. That's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm not sure. There might be a script involved, and that kind of terrifies me a little bit. Well, some people say scripts aren't that big a deal, but if you've never looked at one before and know what you're doing with it, that's, you know, you're learning a whole new language. So we'll see. The upper part of these towers on the ends, that's where the mages will live. Their living quarters will be there. Those 3 will live up there. The merchant, I'm going to put kind of like a loft here in the middle, and that's where his living area will be. And I'll add some stairs probably either right here on either side of the door or in the corner there and there. And that's where everybody's living areas will be. So they'll be up there in the evening, then they'll come down here, and, you know, they'll be in the area with, I don't know, put up a table or something where they can have their meals, and then during business hours, they'll be down here reading books, and maybe if I make a little range area back here, they'll be throwing some spells. But I'll give each one a different set of robes that, if you know what they look like, it'll correspond to what school of magic they are a trainer in. Because destruction spells will look a little different than illusion spells and alteration spells, etc. You get the idea. I don't think there's any enchanting robes, though, so I don't know what we're going to do with that one. Anyhow, that is about it for right now. Lighting, I still need to do a lot with lighting, and a lot of bookshelves, and a little more decorating and cluttering. The upper floors, I'll need to make the merchant trainers, which I haven't never done before. So that's something new. This, you know, every mod I'm trying to add a little something to it that I haven't done before. So adding a general merchant, I've never added a merchant to a mod before, so that'll be new. And then the merchant trainers, that'll be something new. So general merchant here and 6 merchant trainers, and that's about it. That's really all we need. There's a place that we can buy the spells, and we can get some training. There'll be trainers up to expert level, so that they're not going to be able to train you up to 90 like the ones at the College of Winterhold. We'll leave that to those guys. But But they can be, I am going to make them expert level trainers, which is better than what you're going to get. Well, I was going to say better than what you can get at, what do you call those? The Jarl's Wizard, the court wizards. But they don't, I don't think any of them do any actual training. But I figure if they're expert level trainers down here in all 6 schools of magic, that's pretty good. It's almost a one-stop shop. So that is about it for right now. I have a lot more work to do on here. I actually have to resize these too. This is what I had on the exterior. You can see these stones right here are a lot bigger than the ones on this the entryway here. So I need to resize these so everything matches. Which means once these are resized, then I have to add a whole lot more to fill in the gaps. I'm going to need twice as many pieces to do the job. But that's my problem. So anyway, oh, we do have one new conjurable to look at. Man, I wonder if I can remember what I called this guy. Okay. Right now I'm just calling this guy a Sun Warrior. So I got looking at the Rogue Vigilant. And I'm starting to think that the guy might be a little overpowered. So I'm thinking maybe either stepping him up and making that one an expert level summons, or toning down his skills and making him an adept level. Either way, we have nothing at the novice or apprentice level. So I made an apprentice level summons that specializes in the undead. Let's see. Let me see if I can find some Draugr around here. And he himself is a Draugr. He's armed with the Sunbeam spell. Why is that guy just standing there? Alright, well let's I wonder if it has something to do with the zone here. Let's try this outside. Two of them. Ouch. I don't have God mode enabled. Take it easy, fellas. Let's see how he does with two of them. So he's a spell sword like the others, but he does have that Sunbeam spell. It's a little better than Flames. Uh-oh. He'd do better if he used that spell a little bit more. So you can see how much damage that's doing. There you go. I was testing this thing a little bit in Bleak Falls Barrow. He did a pretty solid job for the most part. So, but he's an apprentice level. So I figured, you know, why not have something at the apprentice level, just to help you out with some of those more difficult Nordic ruins you might be going into when you're level 5, level 10, something like that. So, and what's wrong with your eyes, man? They keep kind of getting dark, man. They're blinking out. I don't know why I notice shit like that. Really don't. That's what we got for right now. So I'm going to add some windows on here instead of just having a solid blank wall. And add the windows to the inside. We'll add some fill lights and some other lights and light sources. A lot of bookcases and books and some other pieces of furniture. Probably add some plants and flowers. And a couple other interesting things. One of them, I don't know if I can get it to work. I hope I can. But we'll have to wait and see on that. So anyway, that is going to do it for now. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you in episode 5.